What does it really mean to have a voice? To have a say in how your world is run? Today, we take the idea of democracy for granted, but this system of rule by the people has a truly epic history, full of twists, turns, and incredible struggles. Let's journey back in time to uncover the roots of democracy. Our story begins over 2,500 years ago in the ancient Greek city-state of Athens. Picture this. Instead of electing representatives, eligible male citizens gathered in a massive open-air assembly, the ecclesia, to debate and vote directly on laws. It was a radical idea for its time, a system they called democratia, from demos meaning the people, and kratos meaning power. Power to the people. Think about the atmosphere. Thousands of citizens arguing, persuading, and ultimately raising their hands to decide the fate of their city. They voted on everything, from going to war to building new temples. To ensure fairness, many public officials weren't elected but were chosen by a lottery system called a claritarian. Imagine pulling a colored stone from a machine to see if you'd be serving on the city council for the year. It was a hands-on, direct form of governance. However, this Athenian democracy was far from perfect. Only adult male citizens could participate. Women, slaves, and foreigners, who made up the vast majority of the population, were completely excluded. Their voices were silent. As Athens' power faded, so did its democratic experiment. For centuries, the world was dominated by monarchies, empires, and feudal lords. But the idea of democracy didn't die, it just went dormant, waiting for the right moment to reawaken. That moment came with the Roman Republic. While not a direct democracy like Athens, Rome introduced the concept of representative government. Citizens, elected officials, like senators and consuls, to make decisions on their behalf. This created a complex system of checks and balances with different assemblies and magistrates holding different powers. The famous phrase, Senatus Populusque Romanus, or SPQR, meaning the Senate and the people of Rome, was stamped on everything, symbolizing this shared power. But just like in Athens, Roman citizenship was a privileged status, and the system was often controlled by wealthy, aristocratic families. Eventually, internal conflicts and the rise of powerful generals led to the Republic's collapse and the birth of the Roman Empire, once again pushing democracy into the shadows. For nearly 1,000 years during the Middle Ages, the concept of popular sovereignty seemed like a distant memory. Kings and queens ruled by divine right, claiming their authority came directly from God, not from the people. But even then, flickers of democratic principles began to appear in unexpected places. In Iceland, the Althing was established around 930 AD, arguably the world's oldest surviving parliament, where chieftains gathered to make laws. In Italian city-states like Venice and Florence during the Renaissance, powerful merchant guilds and families created republican governments that shared power among a limited elite. The real turning point, however, was the Enlightenment in the 17th and 18th centuries. Thinkers like John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Montesquieu began to challenge the old order. They argued that governments should be based on the consent of the governed, that all people have natural rights to life, liberty, and property. These weren't just philosophical musings. They were revolutionary ideas that would set the world on fire. And that fire ignited first in America. Frustrated with taxation without representation, American colonists declared their independence from the British monarchy. The American Revolution was a fight for self-governance, culminating in the creation of the United States Constitution. It established a federal republic with a sophisticated system of separation of powers and checks and balances, drawing inspiration from both ancient Rome and Enlightenment philosophy. For the first time, a large nation was founded on the principle that power ultimately resides with the people. Just a few years later, revolution exploded in France. The cry of liberté, égalité, fraternité liberty, equality, fraternity, echoed through the streets of Paris. The French Revolution overthrew the absolute monarchy and aimed to establish a republic based on universal rights for all citizens. Though it descended into a period of extreme violence and eventually led to the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, its ideals of popular sovereignty and individual rights spread like wildfire across Europe and the world. The 19th and 20th centuries became a global battleground for democracy. Suffragettes in Britain and the United States chained themselves to railings and went on hunger strikes, demanding the right to vote for women. Their courage and persistence eventually won a fundamental expansion of the electorate, making democracies more representative than ever before. Simultaneously, the civil rights movement in the United States, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr., fought against racial segregation and voter suppression. Struggling to make the promise of American democracy a reality for African Americans, across the globe, colonies fought for independence from European empires, establishing new democratic nations. After the horrors of 2 world wars, democracy was presented as the best defense against tyranny and aggression. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 symbolized a massive wave of democratization. As former communist states in Eastern Europe embraced free elections and open societies, today, democracy is the world's most widespread form of government. But it looks very different from place to place. We have parliamentary systems, presidential republics, and constitutional monarchies. We vote using paper ballots, electronic machines, and even mail-in systems. The journey from the Athenian Assembly to a modern global election is a testament to humanity's enduring quest for freedom and self-determination. But the story isn't over. Democracy is not a destination, it's a process. It requires constant participation, vigilance, and a commitment to protecting the rights of all citizens. The challenges of misinformation, political polarization, and voter apathy are real. The history of democracy teaches us that it is both incredibly resilient and incredibly fragile. It's a legacy that was fought for by countless generations, and now it's our turn to be a part of its story. To use our voice and to ensure that the power truly stays with the people. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey through history interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the ideas that shape our world. Let us know in the comments which part of democracy's history you find most fascinating. See you next time.